All right, we are going to take some summary notes of the social scientists that we have been studying the past couple of days. So what I would like for you to do is take your paper and fold it in half one way, fold it in half the other way, and then fold a little corner in, the corner where the point is, where all four of them fold. Then we will unfold. I am going to outline the center and the four sides. In the center, I'm going to write social scientist, because we have been studying the social scientists and what they study. The first one is going to be, see if I can't do this a little bit darker so that you can see it. Again, it's social scientist. We have studied historian, and don't forget, if I am going fast, you can always pause this video. We've studied economist. We have studied political scientist. And we have studied geographer. So what I want to do is I want to go in and kind of write a summary of what each one of these is. So it's our summary notes of what we have been learning. Let me grab another marker. All right. I think it's going to be about the same color, but we'll be fine. So, I want to start with a historian. The historian will study, let's see. So, a historian will study things from the past. So they study history. They study history. They like to look at old photos, so they will use old photos. And when we say they study history, we're talking about like thousands of years ago. Thousands of years ago. They like to use old records of events. So like journals. Old journals that somebody might write. And then they ask lots of questions. They ask lots of questions of things in the past. So it's a lot of times they're studying all kinds of artifacts and such. Economist. Let's look at an economist. So an economist will study the economy of cities, state, and country, they look at how money is spent, and choices that people make with money. So economists are very interested in the way that we spend money every single day. A political scientist. Let's look at a political scientist. So political scientists like to look at who's in charge. So they study who is in charge. Political scientists are looking at, and when I say who is in charge, I mean, we're talking all the way down to families. They look at how families are run. They look at the family unit. They look at government policies. Government laws and policies. And their main job is to make and carry out rules. So a political scientist likes to study who is in charge. They'll even study a family unit. They look at government laws and policies, and they make and carry out rules. A geographer. A geographer like to know where places are on a map. So a geographer will study maps. They like to study the natural and human features on maps. They study the climate. So I'm actually going to switch colors because I want to focus on some artifacts that they look at. So the artifacts of a historian so over here, so our artifacts, I'm just going to make a little arrow and I'm going to put artifacts. So some artifacts, we've already listed some, would be photos, journals, how about newspapers, old diaries. These are just a few artifacts that historians might study. So again, that was photos, journals, newspapers, and diaries. Economists, their artifacts. And economist artifacts would be price tags, they might look at receipts, they look at coupons, advertisements, and items bought. So again, artifacts that economists would use would be price tags, receipts, coupons, advertisements, and items bought. Political scientists their artifacts would be election ads, which if you guys are watching TV right now, y'all are seeing a lot of ads about the upcoming election. They would look at stories of government, information about how and where to vote, and articles about laws. So again, artifacts that political scientists would look at would be election ads, stories of government, information about where, how, and where to vote, and articles about laws. Geographers, their artifacts are maps, weather records, see if I can write that better. There we go, it's a little better. Weather records, wildflowers, they would study birds and their nest. They might even study buildings and other things that humans have made. This is a summary of the 4 social scientists that we have been reviewing for the past couple of days. Again, if there is something that you've missed, please go back, rewind. You can pause it, and you can even send a message if you have any questions.